All around, this dining table gets a 9 out of 10. It turned out beautiful and sturdy, no wobble and no uneven legs. The build was pretty fast, but if we were to make another one, instead of the castle joint, we'll go for something simple, like the butt joint. With this stain, I think I'll trust how it looks wet. It was my first time using it and I noticed it evaporated quickly. I'll try to study it some more and come back with some tips. I made this bench fully by myself. Kinda. I mean, Edward cut the wood for me, but I gave him the measurements and numbers. I love how it came together. Literally a few hours type of project, including painting. 10 out of 10. However, I'm not as good as Edward at calculating, and so I ended up with a little bit of one size and too much of another. So maybe next time I'll measure twice and count thrice to avoid unnecessary extra work. The shelves for organizing containers were a must. It was the beginning of our woodworking journey, so Edward was experimenting with different joints. In hindsight, simpler joints would have done the job. Instead of suspending the containers by the handles like most of these shelves are made, we put supports under. Instead of using rendering for that, maybe next time we'll use plywood. And instead of cutting all the pieces at once, cutting stage by stage would eliminate small miscalculations. Because of the mentioned joints, the build took way longer than necessary. And because of minor sizing issues, this project gets 7 out of 10 for how it turned out. The side tables were fun. Edward admittedly tends to build projects on the larger scale. Looking back, would make these 40 by 40 rather than the 50 by 50. Personally, I love how grand they are. The size makes them functional as tables and organizers in a space. I can see us struggling to sell the remaining side table because of its size though. For that, we'll give them 8 out of 10. A track for the circular saw would have kept things straight and moved the project along faster. This was a solo project for Edward. The clock turned out 9 out of 10 in terms of how it looks. As with resin, the process was slow because you have to wait for stuff to cure. Also, the mold we have didn't help. If you understand your resin, you can definitely do this project. We worked on this project for months on and off. The tabletop took the longest as Edward had to cut the tiles before meticulously gluing them down. Then about 6 kgs of resin went over it, and that needed days to cure. So this project went very slow. The legs turned out so beautiful, but they had their share of issues. It's a stunning table, no doubt. But next time, Edward hopes to spend more time on the resin process, creating a better frame to reduce leakage. Overall, it's a 9 out of 10.